Hey Adam, look at this box I have here.
What is it?
It's a $300 switcher.
You want to check it out?
Yeah, let's check it out.
Q Graphics.
Adam, why are you so excited about a $300 switcher?
I think the main thing is that up until this, there really aren't that many options for switchers. I mean, when we were in IBC, we heard first off about the Blackmagic ATEM Mini.
It was the mini version, right?
Right. And then from there, they came out with two other versions, the Mini Pro and the Mini Pro ISO. Here we have the Pro ISO.
And what does this one go for?
Well, this one specifically goes for $1,000, which is why when you told me $300 switcher, my eyes light up, because I mean, how much performance are you getting for $300?
I think we should just hook it up and take a look. Let's open the box.
Let's do it.
So, I guess this looks like the main unit. And there are 4 HDMI ins,
Right.
and 1 HDMI out, DC jack. And I guess I don't know if this is passive cooling. I don't know if there's like fans inside.
I don't know, but I don't know how you managed to open this and not immediately scream at the fact that there's a little screen.
There's an LCD.
There's an LCD.
Do you have an LCD on the other one? What's the size of the LCD on the...
It's smaller.
Okay.
It's definitely smaller. But we'll get to that in a second, because this is actually, if anything, interesting.
Yeah, but let's see what it does. So what else is in the box? There's a cable, and it's a...
USB-A to USB-A.
USB-A to USB. Not very common. It's not a very commmmon cable.
I'd prefer a USB-C, or at the very least a USB micro.
And let's see what's in this box.
Would assume power.
Probably. Yeah, so there's... Oh, and it has the nice travel thingy, so...
Travel friendly.
And you get one for Europe and one for the US. Okay, let's hook it up.
Yeah, definitely.
How many cameras do we have here?
Well, right now we're running A cam, B cam, and a top shot. So I say this is a great place to test it out.
Yeah, let's hook up all the cameras.
We'll be right back. Okay, so we're all set up.
Yeah, and we've noticed some interesting connections while we were setting it up, right? So
A few interesting things.
So there were HDMI locks.
We think.
There's an audio in
and out,
and there's a weird tripod socket on the side,
which is also kind of weird. There's a few things that are weird here, and I think we should talk about as many as we can.
Yeah. So Adam, can you walk me through the concept of what is a switcher?
Essentially, all it is a little control box that controls multiple cameras.
Okay, and I see that it connects to the laptop.
Yeah, it's super easy. So the problem is that in order to connect a camera to your computer, you need a little device that translates HDMI to something your computer can see. And all that's really going on here is we have OBS open, and it's essentially treating this switcher as a webcam.
Okay, and so this is like similar to what we've seen from multiple camera companies that are making their DSLRs. They're basically downgrading them into webcams.
Exactly. It's exactly what it's doing, except that now we have a bunch more features and the ability to switch in between them all through controlling one box. So it's a really nice all-in-one solution.
So we have 4 HDMI ins. Do you connect each one of them into a camera?
Yep, you can connect each one of them to a camera. You also have HDMI out, and you can use that apparently for 2 things. So the nice thing is you can actually get output through the USB, and you see live preview. So you can set up one to be your program monitor and one to be your preview monitor. And then you can, manage your live stream through here, know which channel you want to put, and then over here you can have the final output.
Yeah, so we have this camera looking at the monitor, and we're actually seeing all 3 cameras that are connected. So this is our top cam, this is our A cam, and that's our B cam.
Yep.
And that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So what do you do with the box?
Well, I haven't worked with this one. This is brand new to me. So from what I know, this switch, I studied communications, and we had this really fancy TV room, and that's where I know this switch from. This is called a T-bar.
Okay. Because it looks kind of like a T.
It is a T.
Yeah, it is.
So from what I know, if we move this T-bar, it'll probably do some sort of fun effect and change it to a camera. But I don't see anything blinking, so I think we actually have to set up some stuff before we get
Okay.
into
Can we,
playing.
before we do that?
Yeah.
There's an LCD here, and I think this is
The main event.
Yeah, if you're on the road, so a small LCD, which I don't think you can use it for focusing or anything, but just to know what's going on. This is wonderful.
Can I?
Go ahead and build the thingy.
Thank you. Not the most satisfying peel, but that's fine.
Was that satisfying?
No, and but the screen is definitely sharper now that I took it off.
It's actually quite impressive for the size.
I'm sorry you have to see the top of my head, but it's really small. We can't go around that. It's a small screen.
It's like a stamp size. So each one of the 4 cameras is like stamp size big.
It's higher resolution than your Game Boy, but I don't know how much you'd want to use a Game Boy to see 4 different streams.
But if you're on the road and you just want to know what's going on, I think this is actually a good option.
Somebody can definitely just look at this and switch between cameras. I don't think there's any limitation there. If you're just trying to see that the camera's looking at the right thing, or if you want a quick preview to make sure that everything's still fine with the camera, this is a really good solution. I mean, if you only have one monitor, this is better than nothing, right?
It definitely better than nothing. So can you show me how the thing... I know you haven't worked with this specific model, but let's try and understand how it works.
So it looks easy enough. We have 2 sides. I see effects and setup. So I would say, first of all, we have already done the setup part because we wanted to see how we can record this video. So what's interesting is you have HDMI and USB separated. So you can tell the switcher, do you want to see preview or program in the monitor or computer?
So you can control what's going on the monitor, and you can also control what's going into your OBS or streaming software.
Exactly. So I actually know the setup part just because we had to set this up to make sure that we can actually do this video. So if
that was after the unboxing and before we did this, right?
It was in the time that they were waiting for us to get ready, but
Perfect.
Through the magic of editing, they didn't have to
gotcha.
endure. So if we go into menu, we see HDMI and USB 3. And the nice thing about that is that you can control both individually the HDMI and the USB 3 if you want preview or program.
So you can actually have your program going into OBS, and this is what you'll stream. And then you can have your preview on a separate monitor, just because it's easier to look on a big screen.
Definitely. So right now, what we wanted, for our needs specifically, we wanted to be able to show the audience the preview, but we also want to record it so that we can have it overlaid in the edit, right? So what we're doing now is we actually have both of them doing preview. And to my knowledge, that's a pretty good feature for this because I don't think the other ones have that.
Okay. So, and I also noticed that it has an RJ45 port.
An Ethernet port?
Yeah, it's an Ethernet port or a LAN port.
Yeah.
And you can stream directly from the device.
Yeah, you apparently, I don't know how to do that.
We haven't done that.
We haven't gotten there yet.
But the brochure said so, and it does have a port, so we assume that it works.
It doesn't surprise me. I think the ATEM Mini Pro already can do that. You can just connect a LAN straight to it, and it has its own way of streaming.
I'm starting to... what I'm thinking is that this would be a wonderful device for when you go on the road.
Definitely. I mean, also, just think like it's not... You don't even have to go on the road. This is just a really small package. And again, the fact that you have the little monitor there to be able to see the 4 cameras that are plugged in, I know it's not that big and it really doesn't look impressive, but the fact that you can just see that makes this whole thing a really small package.
For $300.
It blows my mind.
So let's go over what each of the buttons do and how the preview screen looks like. So what we have here is we have our 4 live cameras.
Yep.
Actually, we only have 3 right now, but that could be a 4th camera. We have our program, which is what we're broadcasting or streaming. And we have the PST or the ready camera, which is what we'll transition into. So for example, if we're doing effects, this side will go over to that side once we hit the effect or once we cross the T-bar.
Yeah. If you've ever been in a TV studio or something, or even in movies they do it where they say ready camera 1, that's essentially what's happening. Camera 1
ready
means
camera 1, we'll put it on this one.
It's there. It's ready. And then when he
you
says
can
cut
swoop
or
it
fade,
over.
You just T-bar it over and switch
and
away.
I noticed that when you did that, nothing happened. So can we set it up so the T-bar actually works?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it.
On the left side here, we have 2 things. We have the volume bar, which you can adjust the volume of the output. And we actually have a speaker here, so I don't want to make feedback. That's why it's on 0. if you press here, you go into effects, and this is a pretty elaborate menu for what it is. We'll switch for argument's
Let's do
sake.
something like, let's do the most craziest 80s effect that we can. Let's do Venetian blinds.
You want Venetian
I
blinds?
want Venetian blinds.
Let's just ease everybody into Venetian blinds. Okay, so if we hit OK,
Yep.
then when we get out, we can see that we have the way to switch it. So we want to use the T-bar, and then the time that it'll take to do the transition, which I guess 2 seconds is more than enough. And then we can get out of there.
So let's move from our A cam into our overhead cam.
All right.
With Venetian blinds.
With Venetian blinds.
Let's do that.
I'll just prep you. We have right now, you can see on the bottom left here, we have one that's in red. That's our live camera. So you'll notice that the one in red is also on the program monitor. So if you want to go to
camera 3.
Top camera, that's ready camera 3. So we hit that, and you'll see now the preview actually changed. So right now, if you move the T-bar...
And it started blinking.
It's blinking because it's ready. So as soon as you move the T-bar, you're going to start the transition. And I know you're dying to do Venetian blinds, so hit us. Oh,
that was amazing.
It's just so ugly.
And now they swapped, and now 3 is the live camera, 1 is blinky because we can go back to that.
Exactly.
But let's go to the other. Let's go to our B cam.
Set it up. Yeah, you need a pretty firm press. It's
they're not very satisfying buttons.
It's not a satisfying click.
Okay, so I'm gonna move
What
again.
is satisfying is Venetian blinds.
Yeah, let's do Venetian blinds again.
Oh, just so cheesy. Oh, and you're going right through both of them, aren't you?
Yeah. Let's do. How would you actually use it though? If you don't want to do Venetian blinds, like what are some of the effects that you have here?
I mean, in a professional setup, it's kind of hard to convince me to do anything other than a fade.
Let's do a fade then.
But yeah, and I think fade is something that's tactical. I think you can find a good place for a fade to be used. And, there's 2 things here. One is you can definitely control the speed of it, and it's really smooth. I mean, this isn't getting stuck, and it doesn't look like it's staggering.
The T-bar is way more satisfying than the buttons, for sure.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And there's also a way that you can just jump between cameras. Just very clean cuts, I understand.
Yep.
How do you do that?
So if we go back into effects, we press again. We have here the option T-bar. We also have the option fast. So if we hit fast, down the T-bar is irrelevant. T-bar won't do anything. So if we come out of here, and if you hit 3 now, it automates the effect. So it's not relying anymore on the T-bar. The T-bar is undone. But if we wanted to take that off, say to do a cut, so a cut obviously has no time. It's not going to take 2 seconds.
It's instantaneous.
It's instantaneous. So from now, you can see also that the live and the preview are the same screen right now. So if we hit, 2, I mean, that's...
Yeah, there's no ready cam. Just go 1, go 2, go 3. Okay.
So the last thing that I think was interesting for me, especially because it's in console, so I'm really interested in how this works, is PIP, which I'm about 90% sure stands for picture-in-picture. And if we go in, hit one more time, you can see the little blue LEDs.
Oh, there you go.
So we have picture-in-picture. I have no idea how this is going to work.
Top left one. I think it's trivial.
Top left.
Yeah.
Okay. So now we have... Oh, there you go.
There you go. So...
But
they're both A-cam.
Yeah, they're both A-cam. So let's... There you go. So now we're switching. Yeah, so now we can talk about the switcher while people see what we're doing on the switcher. And we've done this all without touching a computer. And I think that's the most amazing part about this.
So I'm kind of impressed that you can do this without software. Actually, for the entire duration of this review, you haven't touched the computer.
Not once. That's the amazing thing. And again, the fact that it comes in at $300, you have to remember that there's 3 levels for the ATEM Mini, and from the second
lowest?
I think the lowest is $300. Let's call it. But the ATEM Mini Pro already goes for $550. Let's call it. So, I mean, $300. You're competing with the entry level ATEM Mini, and you're already getting, at the very least, an integrated live view, let alone that you can connect it to 2 different sources.
One thing that that we've read the brochure, this is we haven't played with it a lot. The one thing that I've noted is that there's no way to record through an internal SD or an external SSD.
I mean, okay, we haven't tested anything, so I don't want to say for sure. It doesn't look like you can, but I mean, $300.
Yeah, no,
it's just not that product. But
there,
it's
there
everything
are no
else.
complaints.
Yeah, it's hard to complain.
You have to go all the way to $1,000 for the ATEM to get that feature.
Yeah, if you pay the $1,000 for the ATEM Mini Pro ISO, then you get the ability to record. But I mean, that's another $700 over this. You can buy 3 of those.
A big shout out to Phil World for sending us the L1 before it goes on sale. If you have any questions, hit us in the comments below. We'll make sure to answer. Adam, thank you for visiting.
No problem. Hope you guys enjoyed that video. If you did like this video, maybe consider subscribing for some more awesome news, content, and reviews. For now, I'm Adam Frimmer from DIYphotography.net.
I'm Udi Tirosh.
And we'll be seeing you in the next video.
Yeah.